This is Eugene Lewis.
Yeah, it's good, man.
How you doing,
Yes,
Eugene?
sir.
Can I call you Gene? I
Man,
don't
I'm
like to
good,
use
man.
full
I'm good.
names. Can I
Yeah,
call you
let's call me
Gene?
Gene, man. It's
All
good.
right.
Just it's Gene, Coach Gene, Professor Lewis, whatever you want. That's good, man. We in that.
Got it. Got it. Coach Lewis is a boxing coach, head boxing coach for the North Huntsville Onyx Boxing Club in Huntsville,
That's
Alabama.
it,
How long have you been doing that, Eugene?
man. I've been doing about 13 years, man. Been on my own for the last three years. I actually work with a number of different coaches. Actually got a chance to work with former Olympic coach in Seattle up there at Tacoma Boxing. Worked with a couple coaches here in Rocket City. I was a skill coach here in the Huntsville area before I went out on my own. So I've been doing my own thing for the last 3 years. Got some really good, talented fighters, up and coming amateurs that they're doing really well. So I'm really proud of my guys. Really proud of my girls. We're doing big things. Hope to have big things to come in the near future.
Coach, what's the age group?
So the ages for USA Boxing is from eight on up. So you get 8 to even up to like 39. But they also too you have the Masters division, which is your 40 and up. Which so those who are older who want to still compete, still have an opportunity to still compete at the amateur level. So yeah, I have all ages in my gym. I have a lot of women who come in just to learn how to box, just to be able to defend themselves. So to actually teach also from like a defense perspective as well. So got a nice little group of people I have the privilege to work with each and every week.
That sounds awesome. So between you and me, it's just you and me. You can knock a dude out, can't you?
Okay, shoot.
On a sleep or just on the low. You somebody says the wrong thing to you, it could be a problem, right? I know you try to,
It's gonna be a problem, man. I'll be humble, you know what I mean? I believe in being humble, but I'll just say this. I had a kid. I was in Walmart. I was just going to Walmart. I was just like middle of the night, and some kid like ran across me. I guess he tried to step to me, and like he wanted to do something. I was just like, "Are you serious right now?" And then so another one of my kids who I coached,
what's your weight
who I hadn't
class?
seen in a while, ran over. So, yeah, this was a little while ago. It was a couple of years ago. But
Right.
one of my kids who I had trained happened to be in Walmart at the time. This kid stepped to me. He was like, "Yo, this is my coach. You don't want to see him." He's like, "Man, this ain't do nothing. Man, he ain't do nothing." He was like, "Man, this is not the one you want." He said, "It ain't what you want, man. You need to step out." So I guess when the other kid came over, then it was, he went and shut that down. But I ain't never really had no problems for real. Most
That's
of the time, people just know.
That's a special weapon. I'm like that with my baseball bat. I know how to swing that thing, man. I got one by my door.
That's
I got
right.
one by my bed. I got one behind
That's
the
right.
curtain.
So you knocking home runs? That's what you trying to do?
Listen,
You trying to hit the cycle?
you come up in my crib and you see me with that bat. Bat versus knife, I'm a win.
It won't be pretty.
Man, sometimes you gotta let them know. You gotta let them know.
It's a special set of skills. So we
Yes,
had a huge matchup in the heavyweight division, and to be honest with you, I personally come and go with boxing. Obviously, boxing has taken a hit in popularity over the last 20 years or so. But obviously, it's a great sport. You have to have a tremendous amount of respect for the athletes. So, when you see a heavyweight fight of this magnitude, it kind of draws eyes. So, but I promise though, from this point out, I'm about to get back on boxing, starting tonight. All right.
I've been on it, man. It's
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joy, just real quick, you made a comment, but I just want to just not to correct you, but just to kind of share just a little information, just to enlighten it just a little bit. Actually, boxing within the last 5 years is actually on the come up.
Wow.
You have to think about, the highest paid athlete, for the last, over the last 5 years, 3 out of the 5 years is Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete in the world. Then on top of that, you got to remember Canelo Alvarez just fought Triple G in September.
Great fight.
And he just signed one of the biggest deals in the history of boxing, $365 million with the fight on DAZN,
Right.
which is a online streaming service. So boxing is actually is booming. Look at a guy like Adrian Broner, about billions, promotions. This guy has made in excess of $40-50 million, and he's not even an A-side fighter.
Right.
So there's plenty of money in the boxing game. It's just that we don't get the exposure or the marketability that some of the other sports get. Now, with the heavyweight championship this past weekend, man, that was one of the best fights I've seen in the last 10 years. We were talking about it today at work. Man, people were just mad excited. There was a lot of drama in that fight. But I won't say too much because I'm going to let you guys set me up in terms of what you guys want to ask me in terms of the fight or things like that. But boxing is back, man. It's not like the glory years of the late 70s or the 80s when you look at the Marvin Haglers, the Sugar Rays, or the Lexus Aguayos, the Aaron Pryor's, not like those guys. But we are starting to get into an age where you start to see the kind of quality caliber fighters that we once saw, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pass the baton to Anthony and Baby Joe to dig into this fight. We unfortunately, we're only going to be able to have you for about 10 more minutes. But please come back, if not before Christmas, in the new year, and help us set up boxing for 2019. Is that fair?
Man, let's do it.
All right.
We'll make it work.
So here's a couple of things that I had made notes of, and you guys you can take this as one to get the reaction from the fight, which you kind of already hit. It was a draw, but I'm curious to know who really won. What is the potential for a rematch? Is that an attractive thing or not? And where does this fight rank in terms of all-time great fights and in what I'm going to call the post-Lennox Lewis era? So I'm going to look at, as a casual fan, as that was the stop of the heavyweight champion, where that heavyweight champion was just a worldwide phenomenon.
What about the Klitschko's?
And then I'm looking for, the top 5 ranked heavyweights. So if we can fit that in within 10 minutes, I'm gonna let you guys take the lead on.
Yeah, that was
a lot.
That was a heavy. That was a
lot.
That was an anvil right there. That was
a lot. That's kind of heavy, Joe.
That
You
was
got to
an
change
anvil.
the heavy hitters was one off the.
There's nothing I can say now.
Gene, quick question, Gene. Do you feel the fight was a draw?
Yeah, it was definitely a draw, and I'll explain the scoring in a second. I'll wait for the guys to kind of.
Hit it now.
Is when they want me to talk about the fight.
Hit it now, because a lot of the average fans don't really quite understand. They look at knockdowns and they think that it's a win. Can you break down real quick, 30, 40 seconds, how the point breakdown is per round and how it kind of played out in this fight?
Perfect, yeah. So how judging their scoring works in boxing, professional boxing, is if the judge feels like a guy was the aggressor, showed great ring generalship, had volume punching, had power shots, they award that round 10-9 for the fighter who they thought had the best round, right? If there is a knockdown in a round, it's automatically scored, or supposed to be scored based on the rules, as a 10-8 round, which means that the guy who knocks the opponent down, gets an extra point. So if we're looking at it, if we're just looking just at the stats just based on the point system, it's easily a 7-5 fight. I had to fight 8-4, 8 rounds to 4 for Fury. I thought Fury did enough to win, but I could see it going 7 rounds to 5, which is what the official scoring was, which I think is correct, which is 113-113. 7 rounds to 5 for Fury. Had 7 rounds, so he won 10-9 rounds. Deontay Wilder wins 5 rounds. 2 of those rounds were scored as 10-8. That is a 113-113 score. And that was actually the score by the UK judge. Not the 2 American judges, but the UK judges. I didn't actually agree with the scoring by both the American judges. I think one had 115, 111 for Fury. I think another judge had it 114, 110 for Deontay Wilder. I don't necessarily agree with those scores. I think they're a little bit off. But 113, 113 is the appropriate score. I think neither guy really deserved to win. I think had Fury stayed on his feet that last round and not have gotten knocked down the way that he did, I think we could very easily say he won that fight. But I don't have a problem with the decision. Fury clearly didn't have a problem with it because it was a good fight. He thought he won, but he said, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to argue with the judges. It was a great fight. I got knocked down twice. There were some close rounds." And he's accurate with that. And Deontay said the same thing. I didn't think Deontay really looked that good in that fight. I was very impressed with his determination and his drive
Since
to
you're
push
there,
through the fight. But overall, it was a great fight.
Since you're talking about Deontay right now, we all saw that he kind of struggled a little bit. So can you unpack real quick? It doesn't have to be long. What he was kind of doing wrong, which to us, I could just tell you that he was definitely struggling.
Looking for that home run.
Right. So that's one. And then also, can you follow that up with Fury and what he was doing to outbox him all those rounds?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to do real quick. So with Deontay Wilder, in order for him to set up his powers, he needs to double the jab. He didn't double the jab. Also, there's a lot of flab on Fury's, his abdominal area. If I were Deontay, I would have been pressing that all night. I mean, let me hit that flab all night long. Make that jelly roll. I mean, we call it the jelly roll in the gym. You see a jelly roll, hit that jelly roll, make that jump. Yeah, because it's going to wear him down. He's not going to be able to move as much. Fury has excellent footwork. And so that would have slowed him down had Deontay gone to the body a lot sooner or a lot more and actually been more consistent. As far as Fury, what Fury did well. Fury is a phenomenal boxer. He slipped punches. He made Deontay miss a lot of shots early in their fight. I thought his jab was just on point. You could always see he was always doubling the jab. And then if he saw that Deontay had a high guard, he would go ahead and let his hands go into a combination. Those are points. Yeah. So you get points for that. Yeah. And so Deontay wasn't catching and shooting out of the high guard. He was just, keeping his hand, just trying to block the shots and wasn't throwing anything back. So to the judges, that looks like Fury's winning those rounds. So I thought Fury did a good job in terms of how he managed the fight. I just think he got a little complacent at the end.
Right. That's the main thing that non-boxing fans won't understand, that Fury is a way better boxer than Wilder. Wilder was looking for that home run.
You know what's crazy about that? When you look at the picture of the two of them, you would assume that just
yes,
like,
you would assume that he was
visual,
right,
visual.
that he was the dominant.
You're telling me that this fat dude is a better boxer?
You watched that fight,
and he told him at the weigh-in, I'm going to beat you up.
That's amazing.
And he beat him up from first to 11th round. Beat him up. And that's basically why the fight was a draw, because at the end of the day, he outboxed Wilder, and Wilder was looking for that home run all night and couldn't find it.
Gene, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a boxer raise up from the dead the way Fury did? Because I thought when Fury hit the mat with the two-piece,
the 12th round.
Let me talk about that for about 10 seconds. Let me just say this. I have never, in all my life of watching boxing, ever seen anything like that.
He was out cold.
That was like, I don't know if an angel just came down and just lifted Fury off the mat and was like, well, I'm going to help you up, because I thought he was done. I thought he was out. I thought he was out cold. When his hand hit the canvas after taking that hook, because Deontay hit him with the straight right, and then he came back with the left hook. And when he hit him with that left hook, and he was falling down, and his head hit the canvas and bounced up, and he was just laying there, I was like, oh, it's done. It's done.
Dude,
fight's over.
Like the
I don't
Undertaker.
know how he got up off that canvas.
All right, so real quick, what about the hype for the next fight? How you feeling about that? Do you think it's going to be one of the biggest fights ever? At least not ever, but in recent history.
And also, to piggyback on that, why is Tyson Fury the 7th ranked heavyweight and Wilder the 2nd ranked heavyweight? Just your opinion on that also.
Well, so the reason why Tyson Fury is the 7th ranked is he was out of boxing for 3 years. Remember, he's the lineal champ. He beat Vladimir Klitschko, who had all the belts in the heavyweight division. And so when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, he has mental illness. He suffers from mental illness, which is a huge problem, not just in our country, but around the world. And so he went through a Great Depression. He ballooned up. I think he weighed over 400 pounds. He lost over 100 pounds for his fight. I mean, he was like 4 or something, and he was at this fight, he was 256. So when he fought Deontay, but Tyson, that's the reason why the Tyson Fury was ranked 7th, whereas Deontay is ranked 2nd in the overall ranking.
Deontay definitely has a problem on the rematch though, because Fury will, if he does sustain his mental health,
he'll train,
and he's and Deontay Wilder has a problem.
Wow.
Definitely has a problem.
I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. I disagree not this, and again, this is not to be disrespectful, but just for the sake of discussion or debate. Deontay actually will have an easier time the second time around because he's actually seen the fighter now. He's had a chance to be in the ring, so he knows what he has to work on it. And you have to understand, a guy who's that athletic, can adjust a lot faster than, say, someone who's not as athletic. You understand? And so with the rematch, I think the person who actually benefits the most on the rematch is Deontay Wilder. I think Fury fought his heart out. I don't think Fury can actually duplicate what he did this first fight. He fought beautifully this fight with Deontay. It was a great fight. He just slipped up and didn't prepare himself in the later rounds, in the championship rounds, for the onslaught that Deontay Wilder was going to put on him. And I think had he prepared himself better for that, we would be seeing a new heavyweight champion of the world. But be it as it may, that fight's going to be huge. That fight's bigger than any fight. Even with Anthony Joshua screwed himself, he should have taken the $50 million deal that Deontay Wilder's camp offered him, plus pay-per-view, plus a percentage of the gate. He threw away basically a $100+ million fight because he didn't want to fight Deontay because he was scared of him. And here you got a guy like Fury who says, "Look, I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna take the challenge. I'm gonna fight Deontay," and they put on a spectacular show for the world. And you asked the question, where would I rank this fight? I would rank this fight. It would definitely be a top 10 heavyweight bout, but it would probably be like either probably around the 9 or 10. I think there's too many great heavyweight bouts that took place. I mean, the Joe Frazier's, Muhammad Ali's, the Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas's fight. Man, we've just had so many great. When Lennox Lewis fought Evander Holyfield, or when Evander Holyfield fought Tyson, there's too many great heavyweights. When Riddick Bowe fought Evander Holyfield, so you have so many great heavyweight bouts that have happened, over the last 2 decades that I couldn't put Deontay Wilder or Fury's fight any higher than a 9 or 10.
Okay.
If I'm ranking 1 to 10 as what's the best fight.
Okay. All right, Gene. Hey, thanks, man, for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that's good. Thanks.
I just want to
my pleasure.
quickly remind our listeners to check out the North Huntsville Onyx Boxing Club. Kids,
yes,
ladies,
you can find us.
There's really not going to be a better workout, and I can tell you that.
I went one day.
Going to the gym is one thing.
I went,
but if you going to the gym and you're getting physically strong, boxing can get you to the next level.
It's not a game.
Especially as a young lady, it wouldn't hurt at all to have that self defense. So, really quick, where can they find you online?
Okay, so if you go on Instagram, type in NH_Onyx_boxing_club, you can find us. You can hit the email button. We also sell North Huntsville boxing apparel. We've had people all over the country. We've been putting in orders, buying the apparel because we sell some pretty high quality stuff, from tights to shorts to sweats and sweatpants and sweatshirts, hoodies, the whole gamut. So. And that's what we use to raise money for the club when we go on the smokers or different competitions. So we definitely love to get the support from the public. We post everything to IG. So if you're interested, hit the email. If you want to make a donation, hit that email button on IG. And we'd love to be support. Appreciate any support anybody can give us. So thank you all and appreciate the time.
No doubt,
all right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, man. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
That was good. Informative.
I think we might